specify the namespace now so that it can understand which one to launch. Are you clear? So which controller do you want to launch first? Root. Am I correct? What is the namespace? But see, the doctor's controller namespace is different. Patient's controller namespace is different. And staff controller namespace is different. And what I want to launch is the area's got controllers namespace. So to fix this problem, what you will do, go to route config. We have another overload here that takes namespaces as a parameter. See, till now what are we using? We are using the overload which takes name, URL, and default as parameter. Yes or not? Which takes 3 arguments. What are the 3? Name, URL, default. Now we are using another overload which takes name, URL, defaults, and namespace a parameter. Okay. Namespace basically it accepts a string array. It accepts a string array. That's why we need to pass the value like this. And here tell the namespace. New string array. Arena, that's your curly braces. And here you're required to specify the name of the namespace now. Now run. This has to launch you the home controller, which is present in MVC areas.controllers namespace. Got it? Got it now? What do you got? Site homepage. What do you got now? Site homepage. Now, when you click on doctor homepage, it has to launch me. When I click on this, guys, when I click on this, it's not going anywhere. Why, sir? Why is it not going? Now it is not about the namespace here. Just observe. What did you write here? You written the same thing only now in all the 3. Array, here if you change the caption, what is that? Their caption can be anything. That is not important. What is important? Action method name, controller name are important. Action method is same, controller name or same now. Which one will it launch now? By default, what it launch you? Root controller. And to overcome this, here also we need to just use a comma. And here we have an overload, guys. An overload. An overload here where we can pass our namespace name here. We can pass our area name. Sorry, not the namespace name. What is it? Area name. How to write? New of area is equals to, and you can specify the name of your area. Area is equals to, we can specify the name of your area basically. So what is the area name? Doctor. Wait, doctor. Okay, the area name is doctor. Actually, it's an overload method, guys. Third parameter, first parameter, second, the next parameter is route values. These are route value, and next parameter is, I don't want any HTML attribute, so passing null there. I'm passing the null in that particular place. So what I require to do? I require to specify the area name. Okay, so doctor area, patient area, whatever it is, that area name should be listed over there. Okay, we given the name as a doctor area. Doctor area. Okay. The name area does not exist. Right, new off only, na? Okay. No need a square brace. New off, that's all. No need square brace. That's a mistake. You can write an uppercase also. No props. It has to work. Patient area, staff area. I think in the notes, I given the name as doctor, patient, and staff. Yes. Yeah, guys. I given the name as doctor, patient, and staff. In the classroom, I named as doctor area, patient area, staff area. That is why what you see in the notes and here are different. Okay. Here I am required to write the complete area name. Okay. Run. Where is it taking? Doctor, patient, staff. Is it clear? But guys, I will look at a small issue now. Put a semicolon. No need. Yeah. When I click on the doctor's area, it went to doctor's page. When I click on this, where it has to come again? Not coming, see? Not coming. Why, sir? Why is it not coming? Same problem here also. Watch, this is the index page. What did you write? Back to site home page, index home. Same problem now. How to resolve? New area is equals to. The root doesn't have area, na? Where you want to come? Root. Root doesn't have any area. So that area is equals to empty string null. So the same thing should be present in these pages also. One more index is missing. Doctor, patient, patient is missing. This is patient. Okay. Now, first run the site home page. So, guys, have a look at the site home page. Click on this. Doctor area. Back. Patient area. Back. Staff area. Back. Now, guys, what you'll do, look, you can extend this functionality now. This is the doctor home page. Now, in this, whatever pages you want to get under doctor area, put it here now. Add a new doctor or remove an existing doctor. Manage the details of an existing doctor. I want to put all the pages now. I can put it here. Same way here. Pages for staff. Whenever the application is run, you just simply open a browser. You open a browser and started the application. By default, see the URL. Just domain name. Tomorrow, www. You developed an application for Apollo Hospitals. The domain name is apollohospitals.com. You type www.apollohospitals.com. What will open? The site homepage. See there, you're not calling any page there. Simply domain, that's all. So what it opens is the site homepage. Now, after opening the site homepage, you can decide where you want to go. Whether you want to go to patient's area or a doctor area or a staff area. You are a patient. You want to go to patient. Just click on the patient. It will take you to patient area. And now you can start working with the patients now. Am I clear? Okay. So what do see? How did we do it? Just let's recollect the process once. First, under the site, we added one home controller. Correct. And in that index action is there, we add a view for it. Second step, we added 3 areas: doctor, patient, staff. In every area, we have a home controller index action. Coding wise, nothing going to be different. You just created your particular controllers and use in the same pattern. But to run them, you made some changes. What is the first change? The first change is go to route config and specify the namespace of the root controller. Go to route config and specify the namespace of the root controller. So whenever you run, what should launch? The site home page should launch. Okay, now under that you have the links for launching the three site, the three area home pages, How did we do? We done it with the action link, but here we require to give some extra attribute. What is the extra attribute? Area name. Area is equals to doctor area, patient area, staff area. Otherwise, all the three are showing home only. All the three are showing index only. Then this one is different. This one is different. This one is different. How do you tell? By using area name. This home is under doctor area. This home is under patient area. This home is under staff area. Same like this, under the sub-index pages, you're also required to tell the area. Area is equals to empty string. Empty string resembles what? Root, no area. Root doesn't have any area. That's what. Apart from that, rest of all the things are same only. Are you clearer or not? Okay. So one more thing. Just a minute. One more thing. I'm also expecting the code like this. Suppose, just a minute. You open a browser. In a browser, you type the domain name. In the browser, you type the domain name. This domain name only na? We changed the domain name and also saw that. What? nitsite.com something. That is the domain name. So hit enter. What opened? Now, if I say /doctor, I want the doctor page to open now. Did you understand me? If I give it like this, if I just give it like this, site home page open. Afterwards, they can click on this and go to doctor. No, yeah, without that, just what I'm asking is, suppose if I say simply doctor area, it has to directly take me to the doctor area homepage now. Is it going? Let us see. Not found. But say doctor area clash. Oh, sorry. Clash home is taking you. But no, guys, what do you expect? Simple. See, when you open a website, so this has to go to the site root. Simply if I say, should go to the doctor page now, doctor area. Same way, patient area, staff area. Means here, what will come by default? Home index. And it is same for all these three also now. Here also, home index, and home index. Typing this home index is not mandatory because that is already in the config. What I'm expecting is only this one. The first one which should launch me, the site home page. Second one should directly launch me. Means without going to site home page, click on the link and go there. I know the address. So directly in my URL, I'll say /doctor area. Take me to doctor area now. Got the point? This is what I want. If that's the case, yes, you have to do, Pawan. You have to do. There is no alternative. Okay. Yeah. So come to here and now just see how to do it. See, in every area, you have a area registration page. Have you noticed it? Doctor area registration.cs, patient area registration.cs, staff area registration.cs. These are added. When you add an area, along with the controller data and views folder, one file is also added. What is that? Open the file. And here is the route. Here is the route defined by Actually, something is missing. Can you tell me what is missing? See, the URL should start with the doctor area. I manually shown you this, all these things to remember. M90s, I want already, I shown you about this. Same like that. What they want is doctor area. When I say doctor area, immediately the home controller index should launch. Why is it not launching? Look at that and tell me what is the mistake in that. Controller name is missing there. That is why it did not launch. Default values, when you use the default, you are, how do you give? Controller is equals to name of the controller, action is equals to name of the action. But here what is missing? That is why it is not launching. If that is present, it will launch. Why is it missing, sir? Array, how will it expect here in doctor area also you have home control role? The my choice, sir. But how do the system think like in every area you will add a home controller? What will they think? Site will have a home controller. It doesn't again think like doctor also will have a home controller, patient also will have a home controller. System doesn't think that. That's why it left it empty. You add it now. What you add? Controller is equals to home. So now you see you add a default value for controller, action, and all. Understood me? Okay, now you need to copy this and do this in all the 3 area registrations. If I don't do what happens, if I don't do what happens, patient area / home will launch. Patient area / home will launch. But just patient area won't launch. Understood my point or not? Okay, what you should give? Patient area / home will launch. But now, yes, patient area will launch you the home controller. Watch, guys. Just again, watch it. Simply, I'm typing what open? / doctor area. Are you clearer or not? Again, / did I change the text? Yeah, / staff area. Now you see, you say / home, also going to be same. Understood me or not? Okay, so why we did not get it? Because the default controller name is missing. Okay, that I should add. So now you see this route config. This route config contains the route value for default. What is the default route? And this area registration is going to define the route for area home control, area controllers. That is for the route controllers. This is for the area controllers. Everything has its own config now. But the name is different. It is not route config. The name is area registration.ts. With the doctor area, it will be doctor area registration. With the patient area, it will be patient area registration. With the staff area, it will be staff area registration. That's all. That is the difference. Are you clearer or not? So actually the name is area registration, but unfortunately because I given the name as the doctor area, the name is shown as doctor area registration. Guys, that's why in your notes it won't be like this, because in your notes are given a doctor, that's all. So it is doctor area registration. Check it out. Are you clear? My area name is doctor area. That's what it got. Doctor area registration is coming there. Actually, the file is area registration, prefixed by the area name. Prefixed by the area name. Doctor area, patient area, staff area. Yeah, have a look, guys. First, I given you an introduction to you. What are the areas? Every module has a different controllers. To manage it, what I said, create your different areas and store. I created a project, and in the project, I added 3 areas. I added 3 areas. In every area, you'll have a area registration, and this is the code what you'll find in the area registration. See there, what is missing? Control name. Area name is there. What is the area name? Patient. Same way, doctor. Same way, staff. Now add multiple areas, doctor and staff, and this is how your code should look like now. You should have areas, under that doctor, patient, staff. Now everywhere you have a area registration dots here. Now what you'll do? Add a home controller in doctor index page, and this is the code. This is simply our doctor index page. Just understand about the action link. That's all. How do you get back to site home, index home, new? What is this? Go to the root. Go to the root, comma, null. And it's the same code in all the three. Okay. What next? Controller in the root. What it contains? The three action links, but specifying the three area names. And run the project. When you run your project, you will get an error. Ambiguity problem will come. And to resolve the ambiguity problem, go to routeconfig.cs and add this. Okay, now. Okay, fine. Now see, this is what. When I enter HTTP localhost port, what it launches? But when I enter like this, should launch patient, should launch staff. But if you try, what you get? Why you get? Because area name is, controller name is missing. So what you do? Go there and just change. Old code, what do you have? New code. And you're adding the things. The controller is what you're adding. Once you do that, automatically these URLs will work now. These three URLs will work. Doctor, patient, and staff. And guys, again, I'm telling you, it's not about coding here. It's all about organizing. It's all about organizing. How do you organize multiple modules under one project? If at all you want to organize multiple modules under a project, use the concept of areas. Are you clear? Because there is always a chance. What is the chance? When you have multiple modules, in every module, there can be a controller with the same name, just like home controller. If I don't have areas now, where will you put the 4 home controllers now? The 4 controllers. If all 4 controllers are put in the controllers folder, ambiguity problem will arise now. First thing, you cannot have multiple files with the same name. Error will come there only. Correct? So that's why to separate that, best to go for using the areas. Fine. Next. Data annotations. Data annotations. What is this data annotations? Guys, we've just been developing our applications now. Application. Everywhere you have a port here. In all the 4, we have a port. You're not watching carefully. Watch it. And IS Express will have port. The question is like, after completing the movie, you're asking who is the hero of the movie. 1 month onwards, we're discussing why port number will come here, and you're asking today why is the port number coming now. Controller name is home. Here is the home controller. And root doesn't require anything. Why do you require root? Root doesn't require controller name. It is already present in route config. Route config contains that information. What? Which controller to launch? Which action method to launch? That's all. Home page only. What's the URL? What's the address bar? The application home page only. Application home page doesn't require controller name and action method name, because the default controller is a home and the default action method is index. If you type also, you'll get the same. You can call it like this, or you can call it like this by /home, or you can call /index. All 3 are same. The day when I started programming, I explained all these things to you. That happens only for home controller index action, not for any other controller or not for any other app. Simply understand what is this? This is root. Correct? This is root. What it launches? Root, home controller, index action. Next. What this will launch? Doctor area home controller, index action. Same way. Spelling mistake. Patient area home controller, index action. Staff area, index action. Everywhere the port is compulsory. Okay. Fine. What next? The next thing is the annotations. Data annotations. What are these data annotations? Listen, guys. These are nothing but data validations. These are nothing but data validations. All of you in your JavaScript classes, you learned how to write validations for client side. Text box is a mandatory field. I am going to write a JavaScript validation for it, and the validation will fire on the on blur event. On blur means lost focus. When the focus is coming out of the text box, it will fire and tells you can't leave the text box empty. Same way, password. When you're typing anything in the password, it'll tell you password characters are accepted or not accepted. Am I right? All these validations you guys have learned by doing them with the help of JavaScript in your JavaScript classes. But do you know what is the drawback of JavaScript? The drawback of JavaScript is I designed a page with excellent validations in the page, and I've written a lot of validations code in the appropriate page. So now the beauty of a JavaScript is if the validations are not successful, it won't submit the page to server. It won't submit the page to server. Have you learned it or not? In JavaScript, if your validations fail, the page won't be submitted to server. There is a restriction, but that is the beauty of the JavaScript. So I created one page here with a lot of data validations now. And if all these validations are successful only, the page will be submitted to server. Until then, the page won't be submitted to server now. Got the point or not? Yeah, well and good. So it's working excellent. Now all the validations successful, then only the page will be submitted. So we're happy for that. So validations will never fail. Am I right? But do you know that browser has an option to disable JavaScript? Your browser has an option to disable JavaScript. If the end user disables the JavaScript in his browser, all your validations are waste. Your time is waste, your validations are waste. So how can I disable the JavaScript in my browser? Go to settings. In the left-hand side, you'll be finding cookies and the right-hand side, watch it. JavaScript is allowed. I can click this and I can just say block it. I can block it. Okay. Once I do that, immediately it will show you JavaScript is all your validations are useless now. All your time, your validation, everything will become useless. Is the point clearer, all of you? Yes or not? This is one of the biggest problem what you face with JavaScript. But till now, still the most standard language for writing client-side validations is JavaScript or jQuery. JavaScript or jQuery. jQuery is nothing, man. jQuery is a ready-made library of JavaScript. Ready-made library of CSS files. jQuery is a ready-made library of JavaScript. JavaScript is raw language. jQuery is a library. You can use that library and you can perform the activities in your code without writing complex coding. Okay, fine. So we can use the JavaScript, but what is the problem with JavaScript? All this code becomes useless if the end user disables JavaScript in his browser. Clearer or not? And to resolve this problem, what is your job? You need to write the validations code on the server for the second time. You're required to write the validations code on the server for the second time. The second time you're required to write the code. These 2 times you need to write the code. 1 time to do client-side validations. Are you clear? If JavaScript is functioning, fine. Second scenario, we need to think now. If the client disables JavaScript, all wrong data will come to server and server will try to store in the database. Going forward, problem will come now. Registration page is there here. You entered a password. The password is not satisfying the password rules. But still, it went and saved in the database, wrong data. So this should not happen. If you don't want this to happen, what is your duty? You're required to write the code for validating this again on the server for the second time. You're required to write code for you need to write this particular code. Once on the client side, once on the server side. Without you writing all this code manually on your own, we are provided with a concept called as data annotations. What are these annotations? These annotations will be responsible for doing the data validations for you. These annotations will be responsible for doing the data validations to you. What is the beauty of these annotations? They will do client-side validation first. And if the validation fail, they will not submit the page to server. Are you clear? They will do client-side validation first. And the validation fail, they will not submit the page to server. Understood? Okay. The validations did not fail. A success. Page is submitted to server. Okay. But what happened is the client disabled JavaScript. When client disabled JavaScript, what will happen? Even the validations fail, the page will be submitted to server or not. So without you writing the logic to revalidate the code on the server, these annotations will again to perform a validation on the server for the second time. They will do first on the client side and second on the means a double advantage or a double security. Are you clear? Double security. Why you put your sad faces here? I don't understand all. You put the blank and sad faces like you're watching a horror movie. Looking at your faces, I'm not getting interest in teaching your face first. Be active here. Just telling you without writing the logic, you have the advantage of doing, but you put sad face, I don't know. You need to enjoy this. Without writing the logic, it is doing it. Without that, you put sad face, I don't understand why. First, put some activeness, show some activeness on your face, right? You will get some interest in teaching the subject. You put lazy faces, I'm getting sleep looking at your faces. Be active. We have a double advantage, a double security. What is the double security? Client-side validation. Again, if any means the client disabled JavaScript, but still my data is secured. Why? On the server side, my data validations are going to be performed. That is the beauty of it. Are you clear? And all the people who learned web forms, you have the same concept in your web forms also. Validation controls. The same thing in our MVC called as a data annotation. Both are same. Is that clear? Okay, read it. These are nothing but validations that we can put on our models to validate the input from the user. These are similar to validation controls in ASP.NET web forms. ASP.NET MVC provides a unique feature by using which we can validate the model by using the annotation attribute, importing the namespace system dot component model dot data annotations. The namespace under which you have all these things is system dot component model dot data annotations. Data annotations can be used in our view pages for validating, as well as they can also be used in entity framework. So two areas we can use here. First area, we can use them in our view pages to validate the controls. Second area, we can use in entity framework. First, now here I'm explaining you how to use them in our view pages. Are you clear? See, mostly today, tomorrow, we'll talk about this particular annotations. Mostly by tomorrow or Saturday, we'll start with the database programming here. Are you clear? Not ADO.NET. We don't use ADO.NET here at all. We use entity framework. Are you clear? In entity framework, again, we'll talk about data annotations. Two areas we can just use. Am I clear? Okay. So no ADO.NET and all. ADO.NET and all only for your desktop applications and your web forms. But when you come to MVC, not entity framework, we just use Linkio and we just use entity framework. Both these two things will be used. That are important. ADO.NET also can be used, but we don't. Are you clear? Okay. So two controls. Next area, I'll tell you. In entity framework, I'll teach you for the second time. Yeah, data annotation allows us to define all the rules a model class and its property has to follow. And they're divided into different categories. Like three things are what we have. First one, second one, third one. Display attributes, validation attributes, and the modeling attributes. Every data annotation is a, and no need to specially tell guys, number of is a class, collection is a class, task is a class, everything, whatever we come across till now, everything is a class. Controls are classes. Okay. So in every data annotation is a class that is defined in the libraries of a language under the namespace system.componentModel.data annotation. And the parent class for all these classes is attribute, and the hierarchy of the classes is as following. This is the hierarchy of the classes here. What is the first class? Attribute, not display attribute. Attribute is the first class. That is the root. Under that, next, display column attribute. Next, under validation attribute, you see now, I want the password to be mandatory field now. That is required attribute. Next, the data type attribute is to tell what type of value you want to access in the text box. I want to accept a password. I want to accept an email ID. I want to accept a name. I want to accept the age. So that's what the password attribute. Compare. The best example, confirm password, compared with the password now. Next, range is to tell the range of value. Age is the best example. Age is the best example. I want to accept an age between the range of 18 to 60. That is the range attribute. Next, guys, all of you learned about regular expressions in your C# classes, either in the Windows programming, and all the people who learned ASP.NET learned in your ASP.NET classes. Regular expression. We can use the regular expressions also for the data validation. And we have one more thing called as, I need to show that practically. We need to show this practically. What is the remote attribute? But you can understand about all these points. Next one. Classes here. What is the root attribute to the class? Okay. See, read the note. Data annotations. Standard data annotations, validation attributes are there. Okay. Will perform both on client as well as server also. That is, first they will validate the data. And if at all those validations fail, page will not be submitted to the server. Whereas if the client disables the JavaScript on his browser, even if the validations fail, and to overcome this problem, Validations are re-performed to you on the server. First time, client side. Second time, server side. Okay. And guys, all this validations basically client side validation. Client side validation means you write with C sharp. Client side validation, you write with C sharp. What do you write? JavaScript. Client side validation should be JavaScript or jQuery. Just as I said, you jQuery is nothing but a JavaScript library. Yeah, jQuery, JavaScript both are same only. But JavaScript is raw. Means it is the basic language. jQuery is the ready-made library. It is a to work. If you want the validations to work, all these validations are implemented by using jQuery actually. They're implemented by using, so you're required to use all the jQuery libraries now by installing jQuery on your machine. Just like you install Bootstrap till now, you're required to install jQuery also now. Understood me or not? So basically, 3 different packages are what you're required to install. What are the 3? Hyphen version. I did not mention the version here because the time to time these versions will change. Earlier it is 3.4.1, now it is 3.5 something. That's why version number will come. Next. That is important. Validate. Next. What is that unobtrusive? I'll explain you. Practical, I'll show you. But that is also a library what we require to use. These 3 things. jQuery, jQuery dot validate, jQuery dot validate dot unobtrusive. All are min files. See, minimized. All are minimized files are what I receive. Okay. Well, first let me explain you about each and every attribute. Then I'll show you practically. For the first one, display attribute. It's not a validation, guys. Here I mentioned it is not a validation. Here I said, you see, data annotations. These will do validations, client side, server side. But when you come to this one, this is not a validation. What is this display attribute? We learned about strongly typed model binding. Strongly typed HTML controls we have used. On that day, how did you create a text box? Tell me. I have a model class. Just a minute. I have a model class, public class, customer. And this model class has public int ID. Get that public string name. Get that. Tell me. Wait here, @ model, and you're required to import the class first. Yes or not? Afterwards, you create your text box. How do you create a text box? @HTML dot text box for the lambda expression t dot id. Is how you created, right? And this text box is directly bound with the ID now. Whatever you enter in the text box will come to ID. Am I right? Okay. Now, I want a label also. Before the text box, a label required. How did we create a label? Dot label for C dot. Now, what is the caption of the label? ID, yeah. You put blank page here. Practice the ID. When you say C.ID, what is the caption? ID. Correct now? But I want to see the caption as customer ID. If that is the case, I should change the property name now. Yes or not? But I want to see the name as customer space ID. You cannot give a property name customer space ID. Can you give a property name 2 words? Huh? You can't space it. But I want my caption as customer space ID. So here we can use this attribute now. What? Display now when I use C.CID, it won't come with ID. What it shows, customer ID. Am I clearer? Yes or not? See the label will not take the property name now. What will the label take? The display text is what it takes. What it shows you? Customer ID. But this won't take customer ID. This will take ID only. Who will display? Our label will display or exports will display? Label. So that's why display will be used by the label, not by the text box. Text box will use what? Actual property name only. ID. Is my point clearer or not? So that is what the ID, sorry, the display attribute is all about. Read it. For the models property. Okay, you see here, example. What you see, guys, first name will come. But what I want to see is the first space name. And also I want a colon. I go and see our but I want it. So see now, display name equal to, and I'm writing. Okay, I type it wrong in the notepad, guys. No. Name equal to is what I should type. Name is equals to. Name equal to display. Name equal to. Okay, here also display name is equal. See there, first space name colon. So now it won't show you this one. What it will show you? It'll show you this one. Clear with the display attribute? What next? Display format attribute. Display format attribute. What is the display format? Generally, we use it for displaying the date, time, these values. For example, watch it. Read this paragraph first. By using this attribute, we can specify how the data fields are displayed and formatted. And we can do the following things. Displayed and formatted, comma is missing. Okay. We can do three things here. What are three things here? When the data field is empty, I want to display the text as null. I can display the currency data. Date is there. I want to get the date in DD, MM, YYYY. What is the default date format? MMD. In ASP.NET. Default is MMDDYYYY, American Standards. But I want to get in DD, MMYYYY. I can tell all the formats now. How is it possible? Watch, guys. This is salary, okay? For this, I'm using a display format. What is the display format? Currency. The C indicates currency. So automatically what it will get, dollar. Automatically what it will get you is dollar. Why dollar? My application runs in American standards. My application runs in, we have an option to change the standards of our application. That's called culture basically. We can change the culture of the application. Suppose if I change the culture of my application to Indian culture, if I change the application culture to Indian culture, it will show rupee sign. If I change the culture to French culture, it will show you the French currency pound. If I change to Japanese culture, shows you N. Are you getting me? That C indicates currency. Haven't you learned about this in SQL Server? You must have learned about this in your SQL Server already. Format. There is a built-in function called as format function. By using the format function, we can just get the data in the format we want. Yeah, watch. Select format of I'm using the date time function. When I use sorry, get date function. Okay, when I use this get data format, actually it is asking requires 2 to 3 parameters. In this, you can put a comma and you can tell what do you want. Basically, get date will get you the date. What date contains date and the time. What do you want? I want only the date. See that. What format you got? What format you got? MMDDYYYY. Check it out. All your applications will run in American format. They run in American format. If I give uppercase P, abbreviated T, time, T. Array, long time string, short time string. I said you all, na? Long time string, short time string, long date string, short date string. They are all same only. Okay. Just see. When I say T, I'm getting in American format. No, I want in Indian format. Called culture here. You can use an attribute called as culture. What is that culture? Just watch. HI-IN. Hindi, India. Check your date now. Got it? Country as a culture code. The culture code for America is EN-US. English, United States. The culture for UK is EN-GB. Array, British also English only, na? EN-GB, Great Britain. English, Great Britain. So will it be different? Yes, it is. Watch it. EN-US, American English. EN-GB, British. British format is what we use. TD, MM, YYYY. The British format is what you're getting. Are you clearer? Okay, watch it. I'm giving D here. In British, how is it showing 4 May 2023? But in American, how is it showing? The abbreviated date varies from country to country. Sir, in Indian format of it, you show? Watch it. That is the built-in support for all the applications. You can tell the this one here. Watch. Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, all nearly some Indian 15 to 16 Indian cultures are supported. 15 to 16 Indian cultures are also supported. IN is India. Before that, you can just give up whatever it is. Just Google for culture codes. Google for culture codes. You'll get the culture code. Whatever culture code you apply, you can see the output in the appropriate culture. Got it? Not only this one. See, suppose I'm giving a value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Here I'm just saying the currency, or otherwise N number. Okay, N indicates number. And see, basically number format. In American, how do you use your numbers? Decimal, after decimal 2 digits. Next, after every 3 digits, a comma. 3 digits. Afterwards, 2 digits. Yes or not? See that. EN-US. It is this. EN-GB is also same. Okay. HI-IN. Number format. Watch. Currency. Rupee sign. You got your rupee sign. Okay. Japanese. yen, British, pound, US, dollar. So this is the number format. So that only I'm explaining you here. Are you clear? The C indicates currency, D indicates date, N indicates number, T indicates time. For all these things, you can just set. Now here this is salary. So what do you want? Currency format. And here it is date of birth, means date format. What do you want? Short date. When I say T, lowercase d, short date. If I say uppercase D, long date. And that varies from country to country. Again, we saw that. Yes or not? How it's shown in British format, 4th May. But how it's shown in American format, Thursday, May 4, 2023. That varies. So you can tell what is it. But can I give my own format, sir? Yeah, I can give. How? I want to get in DD, MM, and be careful. DD, lowercase, MM. If I give lowercase mm, that represents minutes. Uppercase mm represents months. Okay, be careful when you're typing that. So this date of birth. And see, here I can give time format also. How I want. The HH only, but lowercase mm, here minutes. Here months. Okay. And see, this is 12 hour. This is 24-hour format. Means after 12 o'clock, it will show you 13. But this is 12-hour format. The TT indicates AM, PM. If I give TT, it is a 12-hour format. What you get is AM or PM. Clear? So I can show this. What is it? Name not specified. We'll see practically. Hold on. Are you clear with the display and the display format attributes? Yes or not? We have one more thing called display column attribute here. I need, we can see that only in the, with the database programming only we can see that. Because it is talking to column. Table is required now. We can see that in NT framework. I'll talk about that in the NT framework. Next, validation attributes. Have a look. First one. The value is mandatory. And how do you use that? Watch. On the top of your property you're writing now, required. Error message. Means if not present, some message should come now. What message? See guys, if you want to do the client-side validation, you require to write a JavaScript function for that now. Nothing now, one line. Simple. What is it telling? Required. What error message you want to show? Show it. That's all. The JavaScript will automatically read this message and show you. You don't require to write any coding now. Just only one single line what you can use on the top of the top of your property. Next. It accepts only passwords. It accepts the password. Okay, means what happens, you know, your text box automatically turns into password text box. Your text box automatically turns into password text box now. Same way, if you say data type email, your text box will be email text box. You learned in HTML input type is equals to text, type is equals to password, type is equals to email, type is equals to phone, type is equals to date. Nearly some 22 or 23 types will be there. I forgot the correct count. 22, 23 types will be there. URL, search. Are there in HTML. For all these things here we use data type. If I say password, it will generate you input type password. If I say email, it will generate you input type email. If I say phone, it will generate you input type tel. Telephone in HTML. Tel. If I say date, it will generate you input type date. If I say URL, generate to input type, URL, automatic generation will happen for this. Okay, next one, compare attribute. What is this? Confirm password. Should match with? See now how to use. First one, the property name to which it has to match. See this name now. Hey, confirm password should match with. So here what I'm giving, the name of the property with which it has to be compared. Second one, error message. What is the error message you want? Confirm password should match with password. Same range attribute, age. See now range 18, 60. There also I can put a comma and give error message. I did not show you there. That's all. I'm giving only an example. Array live I will show you when I'm practically I'll show you when I'm just putting up in the code. Okay, just giving you an overview of the things. That's all. So what is it? Minimum 18, maximum 60. Same way we have regular expressions. We can just use regular expressions in your code now. How to use mobile number? Mobile number, remember mobile number validation should start with 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. Cannot start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? Next, maximum length 10, minimum length 10. That's the regular. For that, we need to do a validation, and we can do it by using the watch. What is this? First character should be ranging between 6 to 9. Afterwards, numeric. D means numeric 9. So this is 9 and this is 1. Total 10 characters. And this is the message I want to show. Mobile number should start with 6, 7, 8, 9 and can have a length of 10 digits. Can have a length of 10 digits, both maximum, minimum. Okay. So that is regular expression what we use. Remote, I'll tell you guys, I'll just need to show you practically about this particular remote. I'll talk about it. Hold on. We'll just talk about the remote in detail practically. Okay. We'll see them. We'll try to apply them here. I'm creating a new project, MVC, data annotations. Okay, fine. MVC data annotations. MVC project template I take. No problems here. You can take MT. If I take MVC, jQuery is already installed. If I take MVC, jQuery is already installed. If I take a blank project, I need to install the jQuery again explicitly. Okay, let's go for using a MVC project template. Yeah. Now already you see scripts. 3 things we want to discuss now. What are the 3? jQuery version number, second one. Validate, third one. Unobtrusive. All are there. See. How's there? Because jQuery is already installed on my machine. Are you clear? And you know that I just already shown you. Go to tools menu, go to NuGet package, manage NuGet packages. You can just go to the installed, and in the installed, you can see all are installed. What? jQuery validation, as well as unobtrusive. All these are already installed on your machines. Maybe there is an update version available. You can update if you want to. Go to updates and you can check out if there is an update version. Yeah. What is installed of jQuery 3.4.1, right? 3.6.4 is the latest. Okay, you can update this. So select here, just click on install, which will uninstall 3.4.1 and install 3.6.4. Better if you take a blank project, you can directly install the latest version. If you take an MVC project, you need to update them. Okay, that is updated. Next, I want to update jQuery validations also install. I want to update unobtrusive validation also and just click on install. So without this confusion, always what I suggest. So all your 3 versions are updated. See there. 3.6.4. Earlier we saw 3.4.1. Now we got 3.6. Okay. And another area where you can see is you can just open this file. Which file? Package config. And the package config also we can just verify. Bootstrap is installed. jQuery is installed. jQuery validation. Microsoft.jQuery.unobtrusive.validations. All these are available in the project. Let us add a model class, guys. We'll talk about a controller. I want to add a model class. Sorry. Models class. I want to name this class as user. Okay. And I want to use some validations of the code. I want to use some validations. For that, I want to define some properties in the code. First property, name. Second, password. Third, confirm password. 4, date of birth. 5, mobile. 6, email. 7, okay now? So these are the writing these properties you know already. But earlier also we written this already a number of times. But earlier we don't have annotations. But now I want to apply the annotations. Is it clear? Earlier we don't have any annotations. But now I want to apply the annotations. If that's the case, import the namespace system.componentModel.data annotations. System.componentModel.data annotations is what I require to import. Now start applying some annotation on each and everything. We'll start with the name now. Display text. For this name, I want a display text. What you're expecting? I want to show the name as username, not as name. So how should I give it? Display name is equals to username. So now it is going to show you username there, not name. Okay. I want this text box to be a mandatory field. So then I should use a required attribute now. Required. Error message. What is it? Username field cannot be left empty. Still, I want to do another validation on this. What is it? Name should not accept anything other than alphabets and spaces. Name, yeah, you can't accept numerics, nah. You cannot accept special characters. What should I accept? Alphabets, uppercase, lowercase. Second thing, spaces. Minimum name should be 3 characters length. Minimum name should be 3 characters length. Are you clearer? Okay, maximum no limit here. One character name you can't enter. Minimum name alphabets space. Should not accept anything other than alphabets can be uppercase, alphabets can be lowercase. And if at all you want to write a validation for this in general, it takes a lot of time. The simplest option is regular expression. The simplest option is regular expression. How do you use A to Z? A to Z. What it accepts? Space. That is what your practice is. No space. Lowercase s is space. Uppercase s is no space. So this is to tell space is mandatory. Next. What is that? Minimum 3 characters. Maximum, there is no limit. Maximum, there is no limit for this. Observe. What I'm using? See my expression. Uppercase, lowercase, space, minimum 3, and maximum there is no limit here. Okay, error message. Name can have alphabets and spaces with a minimum size of 3 characters. Minimum 3 character size. So this is the expression what I'm using for name now. So first, display. Second, third. Come on, come to password. Tell me what you want. Is it a mandatory field? Yes or not? Yes, sir, it's a mandatory field. So I want a required attribute. I want a required attribute. Okay. Next. Data type also. String only, but your string should be displayed in a password character format. Yes or not? So you can tell the data type. How? Data type dot password. What is a data type? You know, that's a enum. Right, this is a enum. Enum. This contains the list of all the data types. Credit card, currency, custom, date, date time, duration, email address, HTML, image URL, multi-line, password, phone number, postal code, text, time, upload, URL. All options are available. Okay. So what we want now? Password. Still, anything you want? The validation. Yeah, password requires a validation now. Compare for confirm password. Na? Password needs a validation. Minimum 8 characters or 10 characters, your choice. Maximum some 20 characters or 16 characters. Should accept at least one alphabet, at least one special character, at least one lowercase character, at least one uppercase character. These are the general rules of password. I'm not telling you for you and me. Anywhere you go for a password, these are the minimum rules that has to be accepted. Spaces allowed or not allowed? Spaces not allowed. So what do you want? At least one uppercase character, at least one lowercase character, at least one special character. You can tell the list of the special characters. Not all special characters. I want iterate or hash. I can tell the list. Next, no spaces. Minimum 8 characters. Maximum some 16 characters. It's your choice. Minimum 8, maximum 20, whatever. And you guys, you will learn how to just write a regular expression for this in your classes already. Hey, see, for you in the job guaranteed students have learned all these things in ASP.NET. Full stack students have learned this in your Windows Forms. In the Windows Forms classes, you learned about the regular expressions. Job guaranteed students have learned the same thing in your ASP.NET Web Forms. In the Web Forms, you learned it. But for both of them, I explained you about the regular expressions in the class. And now I can use a regular expression. Yeah, I copied the name one. Sorry. This one. Have a look, guys. Just a minute. Yeah, watch it. What this indicates? Sound is not coming. You're telling something, blah, blah, blah. That's all. Minimum one numeric. Minimum one numeric. This one. Minimum one lowercase alphabet. Minimum one uppercase alphabet. Minimum one special character, and just the special characters you can give your own list. I've given only 5. What are the 5? @ hash dollar underscore hyphen. You want to add more, you add. Next, no space, no space. Minimum, maximum 16. That's an expression for your regular expression. Error message. Password format, it will show you no spaces, minimum one numeric, minimum one uppercase and lowercase alphabet, minimum one any of the special characters, hyphen, underscore, @ hash dollar, ranging between 8 to 16 characters. All these are the validations what I want for the password. Okay. Next, what do you want? Confirm password is required. Still, I want the display name, guys. Why, sir? Actually, it will show you confirm password as a single word. I want to show confirm space password. So that's why I want to use a display name for this. I want to use a display name for this. The next thing is, it is a data type is required for this. The data type is password. You need required. You need required. This is a mandatory field now. Mandatory field. What next? Compare. Don't require regular expression? No need. Why? Anyhow, it will come. The same thing should apply for confirm password also now. So what we require is a compare here. So guys, have a look how to use compare. First one, this is the name of the property with which it has to compare. Confirm password should compare with confirm password should match with password. Okay, now what next? Date of birth. Actually, guys, for date of birth, I want a validation here. I want a validation. I'll tell you. But that validation, we are going to use a remote attribute. I did not explain. I'll show you practical. I'll tell you. I did not explain. Ignore it. I'll talk about the remote. EOB, date of birth. What next? For date of birth, just a minute. Few things I will do it. What is the first one? Data type. I want to display name also, not DOB. I want to show date of birth. So I want to set up the display name. And this is a mandatory field, guys. They are very commonly we use data type, display required. These are common. One more I'm going to use it. I'll tell you what is that. One more, I'll use it. I'll tell you what is that. What is that? The user should become a major to do a registration. 18 years of age. How to do that? I'll tell you. We'll talk on that. I need to explain about in detail. When I was showing the output, I'll explain about it. Next, mobile. What do you want? Data type I want. Is it mandatory? That's your choice. Is it mandatory? It's your choice. Okay. So whether you want to take it mandatory or not, it's just going to be your choice. Data type dot phone number and mobile number has a validation now. Is the mobile number going to be same for all countries? Country to country this varies now. That is why guys in HTML, did your teacher teach you? Tell. Input type is equals to tell doesn't have built-in behavior. You need to write the logic for it explicitly. Input type is equals to email as a built-in logic. Yes or not? Input type is equals to email as built-in logic. Why? Email is universal, but phone number is not universal. That varies from country to country. That's why here also validation on your own by using regular expression again. By using the regular expression. Watchman, this is error message. Don't bother about the error message. See the expression. What is the expression? Start with 6, 7, 8, or 9. Afterwards, you just require to use 9 digits. 9 digits. So this is for mobile number. What do you want for email ID? I want display for this also. I want display and I want data type. What do you want the display? Email ID. What are the data type? Email address. Email address. Do I need a validation? No need. Why, sir? Because input type is equals to email has the built-in validation for it. It has the built-in validation for this. So no need of any validation for email. Last but not the least, what is it? What do you want? I want a multi-line text box. I want a multi-line text box. Data type, multi-line text box. You understand now why you're using the data type? All of things only. Name is also string only, address is also string only. How do you differentiate? By using this. Now you said data type is equals to multi-line. Then it will create you a text area. It will create you a text area. Multi-line text box is going to be created. Okay, watch it. For email only to, for address, here also exact display name not required. Not required. For address, display name is not required because what we have is only also. If you want to show something like this is fine, but directly showing address is waste of time. So have a look. I want to use the display name as user address. This is how the validations can be defined on your model. This is how the validations can be defined on your model. Just a minute. Guys, without listening the class, why you're just giving junk messages here? Swaraj, what are you trying to do? Swaraj, what are you trying to do? Why are you just putting junk messages here? So, brainless fellow. Listen to the class here. It's your career. Nothing lost for me. It's your career. Concentrate on that. Without concentrating, you put all the junk messages here. You're grown up, but your brain is not grown Okay. Well, you can just see that I was just giving you up the class now, and all the annotations are defined. Now, what is the next step? View creation. We need to create the view. We need to create a view. View means controller will come now. Without a controller, view won't come. So you need a view, controller and a view. When you create the view, guys, yeah, what we use display for. Sorry, we just use text box for. Yes or not? A text box for, checkbox for. Remember all those things. When you are using them, when to use checkbox for? It's a Boolean. Yes or not? When to use a text box for? All this headache, use editor for. Remember that also I listed you. Editor for. What will editor for do, you know? Based on your data type, it will generate the controls to you automatically. Based on the data type, it will generate the control. When I use editor for, what is the data type? We'll create a text area. Editor for. Input type, email. Input type, tell. Input type, password, text box. So no need of writing text box for, check box for, all these things. Unique from top to bottom, same thing only. What is that? Editor for two, label for, editor for. Label for is to display the label text. Editor for is to create the control. So no need to going forward. There's no point of explicitly writing text box for, check box for, and all this nonsense. Straight away you can use one option there. What is that? Editor for. That will take care of the rest. Are you clear? So tomorrow I'll show you how to create the controller and the view for there. Okay, let's stop here.